I wanted to talk a little bit more about my personal lead generation strategy for my gym, Body by Design, and what I do each month to generate the amount of leads that I need to in order to grow my gym. Right. And so I wanted to do this one on the whiteboard to make it a little bit easier, I think, to put it into a full picture. Right. So the way I look at client acquisition in general is a system, right? I like to compartmentalize the different systems that run the entirety of my gym, right? And the way that I compartmentalize those is into five systems, right? Client acquisition, right? Which includes lead gen, lead nurture, sales. Then I have client fulfillment, which includes like client experience and your programming and all of that kind of stuff. Then I have retention, right, which includes member events and challenges and more than just that, but retention can kind of spill over into other areas. And then I have upselling and reselling, right? So increasing the lifetime value of your members, not necessarily acquiring new ones like client acquisition, but just increasing the lifetime value through different services, different goods, cross selling, all of those things. And then finally, operations, right? And so operations are kind of like the behind the scenes duct tape that holds it all together, right? So within those systems, client acquisition is the one we're talking about today, more specifically lead generation, okay? And so I put this together in a system and it'll be a little bit easier for you to see on the board here. So I want to preface by saying before I get into like what my strategy is, I have the same tools that I will take into every month. But which tools I draw from and which tools I use depends on the month. Okay, so I'm a big fan of arming yourself as a gym owner with as many tools as you possibly can because you never know what the situation is going to call for. And so your ability to generate leads should be part of the tools that you have in your arsenal, right? And so I teach 8 different ways to gym owners. I teach 8 different ways to generate leads. 8 of them are organic. I'm sorry, I teach 8 organic ways and then 4 paid ways for a total of 12 different ways to generate leads that are not dependent upon each other, right? Meaning that if one of them stops working, the other ones are not affected whatsoever. Okay, I think that is a very diverse approach and helps create a little bit more stability in what is already a pretty volatile business, right? Owning a gym. So, anyways, let's talk about how I go about selecting the tools for that month, which is dependent upon a couple different factors. Number one, I am going to identify how many new members I need to acquire, right? So for me, what I do is I always want to replace the people that churned out the previous month. So if I have 100 members and 5 people quit the previous month, I want to replace those 5, but I also want to increase my membership base by an additional 10%, right? Which in this case would be one more. Okay, so I want to acquire 6 new members this month as an example. So how do I do that? Well, if that number is 20, then my lead gen acquisition or my lead gen strategy will be different than if I want to acquire 6, right? If I want to acquire 20, then I might look at supplementing an organic first approach with maybe some Facebook ads, right? I don't want to go Facebook ads first because then I am guaranteeing a high cost of acquisition, right? Or a higher cost of acquisition than it would be if I just got those new members for free. Okay? And so the first thing I'm going to do, number one, can you get it's a little bit too high. Okay, number one is identify the number of clients. Okay, so this is something that you needed. Whoops, let me just. It's something you and your team can do, or you by yourself. Is guys, how many new clients do we need to get this month, right? This would be done on like the first of the month, right? And so you can do this by yourself. I did it by myself forever until I had a team. And then when I got a team, I did it with them, right? And you can base the number of clients off of how aggressively you want to grow, but make it realistic, right? Don't make it unrealistic, because then you're just going to be in a pattern of like not achieving your goals, right? And so base it off of the previous month. You can do what I do, which is like, how many people quit the previous month? Okay, well, let's add 10% to that, right? Because if you did that, by the time you get to the end of the year, you will then have grown, by 10% across, 12 months, which is 100% ish, somewhere around there. Okay, so identify the number of clients needed. Now, based on that, let's do an organic first approach. I always do an organic first approach. So let's do the numbers backwards, guys. If I need 6 clients needed equals 6, okay? I'm gonna just do the math backwards quickly. I'm not gonna get into the craziness of the math in this video. This is strategy. Sometimes we'll talk strategy, sometimes we'll talk tactics. I'm talking strategy. So we need 6 clients needed, which means I need to have 12 appointments show. Okay, which means I need to have 24 appointments booked, which means that I need to have 50 leads. Okay, pretty simple. You get 50 leads, half of them schedule an appointment, we're at 24, half of them show up for the appointment, we're at 12, I close half of them, we're at 6. Pretty basic math. Now, of course, some of you guys will have higher numbers, lower numbers, whatever. I'm just using a quick way of identifying I need 50 new leads, okay? Now, I will preface by saying if the manner of which you acquire leads will dictate these percentage numbers here. Appointments booked, appointments showed. If you're running, Facebook ads for a free challenge, you're not getting 50% appointments booked. You're not getting 50% appointments showed, right? You're not closing 50% on your ideal customer, okay? So the manner of which you acquire leads is important, okay? But assuming organic, and I love organic, right? Then I only need 50. I only need 50 if we're doing it organically, right? Because organically, think about it, guys. Organic methods are like website inquiries, right? Those people, they're coming to you. They're on Google and they're searching, gyms near me, weight loss, fitness, boot camps, CrossFit, whatever it is near me, personal training near me. They're inbound. It's an inbound appointment. It's an inbound lead. It's different than outbound, which is like Facebook, and you are interrupting them. They're on their mobile feed looking at funny pictures of cats, and then all of a sudden comes your ad, and they're like, I guess, right? And so the quality is going to be different. Or referrals, right? Referrals are huge, right? How much easier is it for you guys to sell somebody that was referred to your gym than to sell somebody off of Facebook, right? So these percentages will be different depending on the manner of which you are generating the leads. But here would be my approach to get 50, okay? For my gym, this is what I would do. Number 1, whoops, can you guys see that? Yes, you can. I'm gonna draw this down. Number 1 is I'm going to do a SMS and email campaign. Okay, simple. I have a list of clients, right? Old members. You guys might have the same thing. You can export a list of old members from your CRM, leads from other shit that you've done in the past where you've gotten like names, phone numbers, emails, things like that. I am going to come up with a really cool campaign, and I'll do this. I maybe don't even know what the campaign's going to say at the time of which I am figuring out how I'm going to get my leads, right? But I'm going to come up with a really cool campaign, and maybe it's going to have to do with like the time of the year. So like summer shred or back to school or lean by Halloween or something like that. And I am going to put together a 5-day campaign, right? Where it's like Monday through Friday. And basically it's going to be, look, big news coming. Okay, big news is here. Here's the details. Here's how, spots are almost gone. Okay, last warning, click to sign up now. And they're going to be able to self-schedule onto my calendar. And that's going to get me probably 8 of these appointments booked. Okay, then step number 2. Number two. Okay, I am going to do some website and SEO, right? So I'm going to take a look at my website, and this is the number two thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to make sure that my website is optimized for lead capture, right? Not optimized to like showcase my team or my gym, or optimized to capture leads, right? And then what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure it's integrated with my software, right? That gets people to schedule, okay? Because if it's not integrated, if it's hard, if it's optimized for lead capture, but it's hard for people to find a way to get on your calendar for whatever your and what I mean by optimized for lead capture is a clear offer, a clear call to action, optimized for mobile devices, right? It's designed to capture a lead, and then it's integrated with your software that's going to be doing the lead nurture, right? I'm going to make sure my website is set up like that, and then I'm going to test the SEO, right? And I'm probably going to do an SEO push, meaning that I'm going to have a freelancer push SEO, off-site SEO. There's on-site SEO, off-site SEO. I'm going to have them push that to my site, so that way when people Google stuff near me, I'm popping up first, guys. This is going to be responsible for another 4. Okay, so I got 4 more coming. Then my third is going to be my free Facebook group. Okay, nothing crazy about this one. I have a free Facebook group where I always provide value, but in this case, I'm going to put this offer right here, my number 1, I'm going to drop it in my free Facebook group with just as much cool stuff, maybe even more media, because you can't quite get away with as much like videos and content like that as you can on a Facebook group, as you could in an email. But I'm going to get another for it from here. Okay, so now we're getting, and I'm sorry, this should be for appointments, not leads. Okay, then my number 4 approach is going to be referrals. And so my coaches, now at my gym, guys, my gym has a lot of coaches, right? And so my coaches will be responsible for getting referrals from their clients. Now, the way that we do that is really fucking cool. It is not some random, like, here's a gift card. It is a very targeted approach that works very well with 30-day reviews, okay? So we're going to have our coaches go out there and make it happen. And each one of them is going to have 4 meetings that month, right? With the expectation that we'll probably get 4 brand new members that have never been in our gym from our coaches alone, okay? So this referral is going to be team-based, okay? And so we have 4 more coming from here, okay? Now, the final approach organically that I would do on this particular month, and there's other things that I wouldn't do, but this particular month, I would run a members challenge or a members event, one of the two, and I would charge an admission. So I'm going to rank number 5, member event challenge. Okay, so this is something internal, right? I'm promoting to my membership base, not old leads, not old members, my membership base, right? And I'm saying, guys, I have this really cool event. I have this really cool challenge. I have this really cool whatever. The cost of it is going to be $100 or whatever. If it's a challenge, it might be a little bit more. If it's an event, it might be $20. Who knows? However, when you bring a friend, a family member, a coworker, whoever, you guys both get in for free. Okay? Just as me giving you a little bit of an incentive to help out the rest of our community. That's our mission here at Body by Design, right? And so because of that, I'll probably have 20 to 30 of my members come to this event or participate in this challenge. And I would say probably 25% of them will actually bring somebody. Even though it's a really cool, like, incentive, that's probably what I'll end up with. So I would say another, let's just call it 5 more appointments from here. Okay, so what does that put us at, guys? 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 4 is 16, plus 4 is 25, right? So this is how we're going to get our 25 appointments, right? That we needed 25 appointments and 24. Now, how does our business grow even quicker than we anticipate, and this has happened for my gym, is the quality of which these appointments are coming in will likely give me a higher than 50% show rate. So you're telling me somebody's going to come to my member event and challenge, set up an appointment with me and then not show up? No way. You're telling me that somebody is going to be referred through my coaching staff, my trainers, and they're going to set an appointment up with the coaches, not me, but the coaches, and then no show that? Probably not, right? Websites, yeah, I might get a couple no shows. Email and SMS, sure, maybe. Facebook group, maybe. But at the end of the day, I'm certainly getting my 50%. It's probably going to be closer to like 60 to 70%. And then closing, it's probably going to be closer to 60 to 70%. So I'm going to end up with 10 new members, 11 new members, 12 new members, and I churned out 5 the previous month. That's how we scale, guys. That's how we scale. And we keep doing that. Now I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used 5 of my methods this month, right? Next month, I might use something else. I might use a health and fitness fair, another free public Facebook event. Cost me nothing. I might use a referral contest with my members, right? Where I give discounts on memberships. It has nothing to do with team referrals. It has everything to do with my member referrals, right? I might use a lead magnet with Facebook ads. There's a lot of different tools that I can pull from. But because I had a modest goal this month, I can do it 100% organically. And it's going to cost me nothing, right? It's going to cost me nothing but a little bit of work, right? And so, or you know what? When the people that my coaches bring in or my members bring in, they're going to be incentivized to do that, right? And so I'm going to have to spend money, whether it's commission for my coaches or a membership discount for my members, but I would much rather pay that cost of acquisition to my members or to my coaches than the freaking Facebook, because now I'm building my team, right? And my team's making money off of it. And my members are talking about how awesome their gym is because their gym does actual cool shit when you refer somebody, not just a Starbucks gift card, right? And so this would be my approach. This is the top 5 that I would do, right? And the next month we would completely reevaluate and we'd say, okay, how many churned out for the month before? What's our goal? Can we do a member event? Maybe not this month, right? Because we just did one. So maybe this month we should do a challenge, or we should do a public event, or we should do whatever. Can we do another email and SMS campaign? Maybe not. We just hit them up. So what should we do? But we have all these tools to pull from, right? So anyways, guys, that's what I would do. This is my approach. This is typically what I find myself going to with a supplement of Facebook ads. And guys, there's nothing wrong with Facebook ads. If you understand the math behind it and you understand the cost of acquisition and your average lifetime value, then there's no problem with it, right? Because you could end up making a nice return on your ad campaign. The problem is that some people don't know the real numbers, right? They're confusing revenue, right, with profit. And so when you take a look at Facebook ads, those come out of your expenses, right? It comes out of your expenses. And so to replace that cost from those ads, you need to make that amount of money in profit, not revenue. Okay, so you spend $1,000 on Facebook ads, right? And you sell $1,000 worth of new memberships. You're like, yeah, I broke even. No, you didn't, right? You don't get to keep that $1,000 of new revenue that you sold to members from your ads. In fact, most gyms only have a 10% profit margin. So of that $1,000, how much money are you actually keeping? Well, $100, right? But you still spent $1,000 to get the $100 in your pocket. It doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense if your lifetime value of profit exceeds the expense, right? That's when it makes sense. And so if you know that number, then by all means spend money on Facebook because you're going to clean up, right? But if you don't know that number, or you're certainly not hitting that number, don't spend any money on Facebook until you figure out where in the pipeline are you losing the money. Where are you not converting? Where's your bottleneck? And when you fix that, then more people will sign up as a result of that ad, and then you can scale it. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense, guys. If you enjoyed this kind of video where I'm kind of breaking it down a little bit, this is a little messy, but whatever. I think you'll get the point. Feel free to share, like, comment. I'm going to let you guys go. Tomorrow, I'll be back on possibly talking about sales. So when we get to this part, appointments that show, right, we're not losing an opportunity to turn it into a big sale. And hell, 6 clients giving you $30 a month is not very good. 6 clients giving you $300 a month, well, that's a whole different story. So how do we do that? We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll see you guys then.